Here at the mine, our first step is to gather the gravel that contains the gold and other base metals. Once we collect it in the bucket, we take it to the Finley, which takes all the large rocks, anything larger than about 1/2 inch. Now we have a pile of 1/2 inch minus material that we take up to the wash plant. Now the wash plant is a set of vibrating screens which further screen and agitate the material to get the clumps broken up. We come down through a nugget trap and a set of sluices that will catch the coarse gold particles. One of the first considerations, especially here in Arizona, is water. And water is the biggest part of this operation. If you don't have water, it's much more difficult to concentrate gold. So we pump the water from different wells into a collecting pond, and from there we pump the water that we use in our process. Now the wastewater, the water carrying the waste, is recycled out of this small pond and overflows into the large pond so that we have a recirculation system so that we can save as much water as we can. The finer gold, which is a lot harder to catch, we go into the 40-inch roughing jigs. The jig pulses up and down, and it has a bed of metal balls in it that only have so much space between the balls. When the bed expands, the space opens up and the heavier particles get into those spaces first. The lighter particles are then trapped out when it closes. Now this happens many times per minute. Each time it does it, it allows the heavy material to come through the bottom of the jig while all the lighter material and the bigger rocks and gravel go out the discharge here. The concentrate coming out of the bottom now goes to our finishing jigs. Now the finishing jigs work the same way as the primary jigs in that they pulse up and down. They have much smaller pore spaces, and by working the same way, now we're able to get the much smaller light particles away from the black sands and the heavy metals. Every day we take samples along the way of the concentrate, and what we do is take a handful, throw in a gold pan, and much like you've seen many times, we pan it down to make sure that we're catching gold or that there's gold in the material that we've screened. Now the finishing jigs further concentrate the material down to pretty much black sand and a few lighter minerals. These are then collected in super sacks, and this concentrate altogether is brought over to our CCI facility in Quartzsite.